On today's episode of The Young and the Restless, Diane's request is denied by Jack. Ashley has a run-in with Tucker and Audra, and Summer is concerned about whether or not she is ready to trust Claire. All of the products and services that are showcased are selected by editors in an independent manner. On the other hand, Soaps.com might get a commission on orders that are placed through its retail connections, and the retailer might get some auditable data for the sake of accounting. While Jack is in the Abbott mansion, he expresses his displeasure to Tracy over the fact that he ran into Tucker, who had intended to talk to him about Ashley. He asserts that he is worried about her and that she is behaving in an unpredictable manner. Tracy finds out that he is using the phrase, "Ashley wants to be his partner again" in both romantic and professional endeavors. Jack is under the impression that this is his technique of causing additional conflict within the family. Jack extends an invitation to Tracy to accompany him and Diane to the club, but she declines the invitation. After she has some time to herself, Tracy contemplates Ashley's peculiar conduct. Just then, Ashley appears from behind her. "Please don't tell me that the worried expression on your face is related to me. I pleaded with you." In response, Tracy says, "Unfortunately, it still does." Exasperated, Ashley lets out a sigh. Ashley is adamant that she was over Tucker and that she is no longer need to hover over him. Despite the fact that Tracy thinks that is fantastic, it appears like Tucker is not over her. After learning about his talk with Jack, Ashley recommends to Tracy that she not trust the rubbish that he has to say. There is no denying that Tracy has been irritable and not quite herself recently. At this point, Ashley is fuming because she is not going to allow her to forget that she was wrong about what took place at the cafe. Tracy gets yelled at by her because she places more faith in McCall than in her own sister. Tucker comes across Audra while he is in the jazz lounge, and he manages to persuade her to join him at the bar. He assures her that she is justified in her anger regarding the situation with Ashley, which is not something that he is concerned about. "They are you, the only one. For me, you are everything. Now you agree with me that Ashley is faking her crazy?" Audra looks at her in astonishment. After giving it a lot of thought, Tucker expresses his agreement. When Audra is trying to get his way, she believes that he is telling her what she wants to hear. The words, "You're all I want," are uttered by Tucker. It is she and her family's responsibility to deal with Ashley's situation, according to him. Just now, he conveyed this information to Jack. Tucker cannot afford to lose her. "I will not. And what steps can we take to get back to where we were before?" When Adam walks in, Victor is yelling into the phone at the ranch, saying, "You find the woman and you call me." Victor is yelling into the phone. His son is informed that he is going to track out Jordan and put an end to her behavior. Where does Adam come from? Victor inquires. He has stated that he will be traveling to the East Coast with Chelsea and Connor later tonight. He will see to it that his work is taken care of. They are doing everything in their power to help Connor get through his obsessive-compulsive disorder, OCD, which Victor discovers. What is the treatment? He inquires. There is no cure, according to Adam, but there are tools that can help him manage it, and he will obtain those tools at the treatment center. It is Victor who instructs his son to board the jet. According to Adam, Nick has already made the offer. It is satisfactory to learn that they have his approval as well. Adam is given the assurance by Victor that they can come to him for everything they require. Adam tells him that it is more significant than he is aware of. As a parent, Victor is familiar with the experience of having a child who is afflicted with a condition for which there is no remedy. Adam confides in Victor about the predicament that Connor is in and begins to question, "How can I assist him?" Victor believes that they are taking the appropriate action. Just have faith in yourself. Adam is concerned that he is making a mistake and that the present situation is his responsibility. It's not precisely accurate to say that Connor had the most stable childhood. Despite the fact that Victor is proud of the man that Adam has become, he argues that the same thing was true for Adam. Of the father he's become, Victor continues. As Victoria enters, she inquires of Victor whether or not he has seen Claire. His duty is to notify the security crew, as she desires. According to Adam, she is most likely off. Considering that Jordan is still at large, Victoria believes that is not sufficient. The assurance that security is extremely tight comes from Victor and Adam. I was able to get in, although it was quite difficult. The reason for this is that they do not like you, Victoria says in response. However, this does not imply that Claire did not find a means to escape with her life. It is not likely that Claire would depart on her own, according to Victor. I wouldn't be so sure, Victoria adds. I hope not. Upon entering Crimson Lights, Michael notices Claire seated by herself in the restaurant. That she is rejoicing is what she tells him. Since she was discharged from the hospital, this is the very first time that she has ventured out into the genuine world by herself. Michael is taken aback by the fact that her family would allow her to go out on her own at the time when Jordan was free. Claire claims that she did not provide the information to them. She is no longer afraid of her aunt, and she is unable to allow her to continue to rule her life. As a result of her lack of protection, Michael can't help but be concerned. According to Claire, duly noted. However, what appears to be a risk to you is something that I find to be really fantastic. I'm freed of her, she exclaims to herself. Michael laughs out loud. Along the same lines as your mother, you are a very powerful young woman. Exactly at that moment, Lauren makes her appearance. Michael gives her a kiss and then introduces himself to her. Lauren recounts that she has come out on the other side a lot of challenges that she has faced. Claire has a great deal of debt to her husband. Lauren makes a joke about how getting to know the Newmans is a full-time job, and the two of them chuckle together simultaneously. What is Claire going to do, she inquires. As summer arrives, Claire is conveying to her that she is interested in working with children. Claire yells out to Summer, but Summer averts her eyes from the situation. Claire extends an invitation to Summer to see her after Michael and Lauren have left. It is time for Summer to return to her job. After observing her, Claire poses the following question to her. You discovered the complete truth about me, didn't you? According to Summer, yeah. What you did to your family, as well as to my family, is something that I simply cannot wrap my head around. Claire asserts that she is no longer that person and is currently receiving assistance. Summer reveals to her, you attempted to take the lives of my father, my aunt, and my grandparents. I have a question for you. What is it that gives you the confidence that you will ever be able to work with children again? Well, I've seen worse. Jordan, upon arriving at a shabby flat, reflects on his experience. The door is opened, and she mutters that the Newmans are making a fool of themselves. They were under the impression that they could defeat her, but they are in for a rude awakening. Tucker recalls that he had broken commitments to Audra, but that she had remained loyal to him while they were in the jazz lounge. The fact that he has not yet made her the priority that he ought to have is evidence that he is a fool. I won't hold it against you if you decide to leave. It's probably best for you to do so. When Tucker considers his life without Laura, he breaks down in tears. He stutters, I can't believe how fortunate I am to have you in my life. You are my closest buddy, and I am very sorry about this. Aside than that, I am at a loss for words. What is it that you require me to say? It is necessary for him to stare directly into Audra's eyes and speak the only words that he is unable to say without meaning them. I love you, Audra, Tucker tells her out loud. He begins by kissing her hand, and then he moves on to kissing her lips. In order to give it back to him, she grips him around the neck. I adore you just as much. Jack and Diane raise a glass to the experience of taking a break from their hectic schedules in the dining room. The most recent mind game that Tucker has been playing is revealed to her by Jack, who expresses his concern for Ashley's mental health. He acknowledges that she is acting in a manner that is not typical of her, but she claims that she is all right. She possesses a strong and powerful physique. The fact that Diane became so enraged with Kyle is something that she despises, and she has been searching for evidence that he did not respect her as his superior. That behavior is going to be stopped by her. The information that Kyle has admitted to having some feelings of animosity is relayed by Jack. Diane finds that to be unacceptable. She is concerned about the consequences that may occur if he is unable to work through his emotions. I was wondering what your reaction would be if I offered that Kyle and I switch roles. While Tracy is in the Abbott residence, she tells Ashley that she does not believe a single word that Tucker says. It comes as a relief to Ash to hear it. She contemplates the fact that Tucker is truly worried about her well-being. When Tracy explains that Tucker's belief that he is responsible for driving her nuts is exactly what she intended, she appears shocked while she is saying it. Tracy informs her that if she is over him, then it is just illogical. Ash asserts that she is in 100% command of the situation. I am having a plan. Tracy is frightened by this, and she is eager to learn more about it. In a private conversation, Ashley reveals, "I've got Tucker exactly where I want." She explains how Tucker is so worried about Ashley, who is fragile and feeble, and how he is concerned about her. The effect of that is that it leaves him open to attack. It is inevitable that he will give her his heart and his empire, and then she will take it all away from him, leaving him with nothing but his miserable and bankrupt soul. Tracy is concerned about the possibility of him becoming close to her because he is so difficult to fool. Ashley is confident that he will not see her approaching. Tracy begs her to avoid leaving, but she goes ahead and leaves anyway. At the ranch, Adam inquires of Victoria whether or not she has given any thought to the likelihood that Claire has rejoined forces with her Aunt Jordan in order to fight against the family. Victoria brings to his attention the fact that all he ever desired was for his family to accept him, and that he will not permit her daughter to experience the same grace. Adam responds, "You're absolutely correct. I am truly sorry." Victoria is curious as to why he is acting so kindly. Adam lets Emma sigh. It is not a problem for him to be protective of their children. It was for the best that he keep his mouth shut. Perhaps I've picked up a few new things in the recent past. When Victoria is asked, like what? Adam explains to her the status of Connor's diagnosis, as well as the regimen of treatment. What they are going through is something that Victoria is sad about. She acknowledges that early intervention is essential and continues by saying, "If there is anything I can do." When Victor shows up, he claims that security informed him. A cup of coffee was what Claire went to get. At Crimson Lights, Claire shares with Summer that she has informed Kyle that she is doing everything in her power to improve her health and construct a life for herself, which hopefully includes providing employment opportunities to children. It's possible that it's due of the horrific things that happened to me when I was a child at the time. Summer inquires, "So, you turned out to be a victim." She claims that she was taken without permission and that she was not desired. Having accepted responsibility for her actions, she is now working toward the goal of making a positive impact on the world. She has high expectations that Summer would be able to recognize herself and trust her, and that one day they can have a genuine relationship as cousins. When Chance walks in, Summer is the one who introduces everyone. According to Claire, Nikki was the one who brought him to her attention, along with Jack and Diane's vow renewal ceremony. After receiving a text from Victoria, Claire is compelled to depart. As she moves forward, Jordan, who is posing as a male, keeps an eye on her. Jack asks Diane, while they are both in the club dining room, if she would truly be willing to give up her work for Kyle. Diane will not stand in the way of their son's goals of achieving success in life. It is her request that Jack give it some consideration. In Jack's opinion, it will not be sufficient to address the issue. In order for them to effectively collaborate, they need to locate areas of agreement. She has an idea, but he won't even touch it. The place she should be and the one she deserves to be is now. The moment Claire arrives at the ranch, Victoria immediately leaps to her feet and asks, "Where were you?" Claire had just returned after going out for coffee, and Adam inquires, "Alone?" With a sneer, Claire asks, "What do you care?" He reveals to her that people were concerned. There is a reprimand from Victoria that it is not safe, and she asks her to refrain from doing that again until Jordan is taken into jail. As Victor points out, the next time, you should let your mother know where you are standing. Claire expresses her regret, but she is unable to remain confined to the house. "I will not allow myself to be afraid of Jordan." Despite her pride, Victoria begs her to make a solemn vow that she will not leave again. Michael enters the room with a possible intelligence lead on Jordan. A train ticket from Chicago to Houston was purchased by an individual using the name Eve Howard. It is possible that she is currently looking for her. Victor is able to deduce that it is what she wants them to believe. After bringing Audra into his suite, Tucker reveals that Ashley is currently seated in the chair. Suddenly, Tucker yells out, "Again? On this occasion, would you like me to have you arrested or tossed out of the building?" Ashley is adamant that things need to be discussed with them. The appointment that they had discussed was made by her. Tucker is happy for her and gives her his best wishes. He sends a signal to the entrance. It is Ashley who assures him, "I am doing this for us." Tucker asserts that there is no such thing as us and can never be again. In the event that he were by himself, Ashley believes that his response would be different. Audra and he both tell her to leave the room together. Ashley requests one-on-one communication with him. Whatever it is, Audra does not know whether it is real, phony, crazy, or sane. Nonetheless, regardless of what it is over. Hunting after Tucker is a very awkward situation. It is important to have some self-respect. "Tucker, would you be able to put a muzzle on this yappy little bitch?" Ashley asks as she takes a comprehensive check around her. In response to Audra's lunge, Tucker grabs her. "I think that's enough, Ashley. Get going right away." "All you had to do was ask," Ashley says in a peculiar manner. When Tucker is by himself, he asks Audra, "Do you believe me now?" "Where am I?" Ashley asks herself as she walks down the hallway. "How are things going? Why am I even in this place? What exactly is going on with me?" In Crimson Lights, Chance informs Summer that her cousin appears to be a pleasant person. Summer shares with him the story of how she was working as an assistant to her grandmother while also conspiring to destroy the Newman family. And with a grimace, Chance asks, "That woman just now." According to Summer, she and her aunt tricked her family into going to a rural cottage where they attempted to kill them. Chance is perplexed as to why she is not currently incarcerated. Summer claims that her family advocated on her behalf and secured treatment for her rather than sending her to jail. There she is, residing at the ranch. It seems to Chance that they ought to have trust that the treatment is making a difference. The young lady believes that she is a pretty excellent actress. When it comes to believing, she is at a loss. She is perplexed as to how someone can go from engaging in homicidal conduct to being a regular person in just a few short months. Autumn is not yet prepared to put her faith in her cousin Claire. During his time at the ranch, Michael will pursue the lead regarding the train ticket. As he leaves, Adam explains that he must also leave as soon as possible. Victor is thanked for the jet, he says. They want him to convey to Connor that they adore him. Victor asks him. With that, Victoria continues, "Also from me, Adam." When Adam smiles, "Adam?" Victor asks them. "Just keep in mind that you and Chelsea are the perfect parents that this young guy requires at this very moment." Claire inquires about the situation with his son a moment after he has left. Victor claims that he suffers from obsessive-compulsive disorder and is currently receiving treatment at a specialized clinic. With a pout, Claire says, "That poor kid." Even though they made an effort to be brave, she is aware that the children who were at the hospital were terrified. Empathy is something that Victoria mentions. While at the club, Ashley witnesses Jack and Diane sharing a passionate kiss before exiting through the revolving door. She follows at a distance, but eventually comes to a stop. "Do you know what is going on with me?"